next, we went along. Tag team of the year.
Now
And this had a little bit less, at this point, we had a lot of candidates for everything else. This is when we started boiling it down.
Guys, this is Santi Numerel, and you're listening to Wrestling Behind the Curtain.
You already know what it is. You already know what it is. It's your boy. I'm robed out, Rick Flash. You know what I mean? Chance. I already know behind the curtain. You already know I got my tag team partner here, Kenzo the Great.
Here.
You know what I'm saying? So we just finished the reasons why we picked who we're about to say, which is the Wrestling Behind the Curtain Yearly Awards for Wrestling. The PWI does that and all that good stuff. But, we like to say we really do it without the politics. You know what I mean? No shade to y'all. I'm just saying, we really do this. So if you want to check that out, it's on the Patreon. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, you can check that out on the Patreon. It's easy. It ain't that much. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get that. We got the merch. It was on sale. If y'all missed it. But we got the merch. We got new shirts coming too. I think one just dropped, but we got 2 more coming. Hopefully one's going to drop that I think Kenzo's going to like, but, I'll let him know if it drops. If it doesn't drop, then, don't mind that. Patreon, Discord, all that good stuff. So all the promos out the way. Let Kenny get a shot off, you know what I mean? And then we're going to go into it.
Yeah, it's your boy Kenzo the Great. Bring it to you straight shot, no chaser. We're doing it all way, It's Wrestling Behind the Curtain. Again, everyone else have their awards. Why we can't have ours? And, we giving it to you the real way because this is your boy. So we're going to start it off. We're going to come out with a nice way to do it. Rookie of the Year. And
tell them the nominees. Tell them the nominees and we'll tell them who won.
Yeah. The nominees was Hook, Logan Paul. We had Ricky Starks, Jamie Hayter, and Speedball, and Macha. So, a nice, well-rounded group of people. And obviously, we went Logan Paul with it.
Logan Paul. I mean, Hook, no shade, had a great year. But like we explained in the Patreon, you got to check out why we got there. We know you won the other people's, but Logan had some moments.
Yeah, he had. I mean, the man's had a nice impact for sure.
Like you think of Hook, you think of cool wrestler, but come on. Logan's had some moments. Hate if you want on the Paul brothers, but Logan had some moments for what 3-4 matches in. Like he don't look like he's never wrestled before in his life. So Logan Paul gets our Rookie of the Year.
And the thing is, I mean, again, we said we're gonna go quick because that's why we did the before and after. But if we're breaking down a lot of these awards, they could actually have separate awards. We could go casual and official. Logan wins them both because I mean he got the casual fan for sure, but official, I mean, again, he had an impact. But that's again, check the Patreon out. We talked about that.
No one's ever streamed live a match during a match.
But yeah, that shit was crazy. Next up, promo of the year. We only had 2 nominees, really. We had more when we talked about it initially, but we broke it down. Again, check the Patreon. CM Punk versus MJF or Jay White commencing the Switchblade era at the G1, basically, calling out everybody.
And everyone knows love Jay White. Everyone knows love Jay White.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's unanimous across every board in the world that CM Punk MJF promo was fire.
Yeah, it was a banger. Probably a shoot, but who knows? We might never know. We might know. Who knows? All right. Next up, big plot of contention. We wasn't sure where we was going with it. We had to literally have some discussion about it. Moment of the year. And the nominees are Bullet Club takeovers, Cody's return, Austin coming back, and Roman acknowledging Sammy into the bloodline.
Now again,
tell by my dramatic pause which one I chose.
Yeah, now again, the Bullet Club came close again, but they didn't make it because
see, if you really want, again, you gotta check out the Patreon because some of these came closer than it's gonna seem with the way because we're going quick. Again, if you're in the Patreon, you know some of these are some nail biters. But yeah, Bullet Club came close, but Roman acknowledging Sammy is just what it did, what the effect, how many chances watched it, all that factored into the voting. So yeah,
Because
Roman,
you just knew he was out of there
yeah,
for
for sure.
sure. And
But he wasn't.
especially the way Jay's been playing it. Jay's character has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yes,
From one Jay to the next, Jay Uso to Jay White, who was the first nominee for Male Wrestler of the Year, along with John Moxley, Roman Reigns, Matt Cardona, and Seth Rollins.
oh, you
But
know what? We didn't really talk Matt Cardona in the Patreon because he had a phenomenal year.
yeah, we didn't know there's a reason why, and I didn't say why on the Patreon because I knew, again, we want people to join the Patreon, but I know everyone not here, so we're gonna give a little snippet for the people who not there yet. But come join for sure. I'm gonna do a video on Matt Cardona soon, so we're gonna talk about his year because that I don't think we've seen anything like it. We can talk about bet collectors, all that stuff, but those are usually, let's be honest, bigger stars who do things like that. That's something you can see
Yeah.
you know, a Kenny Omega doing because he's done it. And, we've seen other people do it, see CM Punk do it. Matt Cardona, hate him or love him, he just isn't the household name that those dudes I just said are. Like, I worn my CM Punk shirt out. People are like, oh, CM Punk, I know who that is. If I wore Matt Cardona merch, I think it'd be a little harder for people to know who it is unless they're wrestling fans. So definitely gonna drop that video. Check it out. Maybe you should do that as a Patreon video. I don't know. We could discuss that later. But yeah, we didn't discuss him. But also, I mean, yes, we want to give him props, but can we talk about him in the same world as the year Jay and Mox and Roman just had? We could maybe leave Mox off of there because let's get down to the two. Let's do that since we've been doing that for everybody else.
Yeah, that video has to drop because I'm not gonna lie. I might have been a little swayed. We talked about it earlier because Matt did have a crazy year. Like, if I didn't know Matt, I would have known Matt this year because of his indie run.
Facts.
So that was he said. So you get the what's the word? What's the word when you ain't get it but you should have got it?
What?
What's the word that when you don't win, but you could have won but you didn't get it? So you like honorary? Is it honorary
I mean, okay. I mean,
or honor mentionable?
honorable mentionable. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Help me out, guys. Put it in the comments. Like, get me there. But yeah, honorable mention would have to be Matt. But going like we said, moving forward, John Moxley, hands down. We already know the year that he had. Should have won, but he didn't. But well, he shouldn't have won. But you know what I'm saying? Like he could have won either way. You know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong with any of these top three picks. John Moxley, hands down, hold the AEW down through the CM Punk bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Through all that stuff, Moxley
Yep.
held it down. He, finally lost. No spoilers if you haven't seen Dynamite, whatever. But he finally lost to Hangman Page. Good. I think they're writing him out, which well time deserved off. So you couldn't go wrong if you pick Mox, but Mox isn't it. Tell him who else you couldn't go wrong with if you pick.
Well, I mean, the Oos himself, the head of the table,
That's in my
acknowledge him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Roman Reigns somehow. Well, we know how. Check the Patreon. Kind of a nice discussion. Roman didn't win this award, which is people know us and know the channel. That's kind of surprising.
That's
Being
very
honest.
surprising. But I feel like it's obvious. It's
But,
obvious.
but Switchblade himself,
Jay White.
Jay White, cross promotion, 3 different one of them, maybe 4 actually. Belts, winning them, losing them, promos, multiple promo of the year candidates, but they all fall under the same umbrella of the Switchblade era. And
Okada matches.
it's still his era, by the way. And we don't know what he's doing next, and we waiting what he's doing
That
next.
is a big reason why he could be like you could throw it over too, because now with the contract about to run out, is it WWE? Is it AEW? We don't know. So the era might not even really jump off yet, which is crazy. Because let's be funky fresh. If it wasn't for Jay White, which is like the MVP thing that Kenny did later, and we'll talk about it later. If it wasn't for Jay White, would you really still be going for Bullet Club? You really wouldn't. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, we might have been saying, this has run its course and all that, good stuff. So you have a very good point there. Didn't even think about that. I mean, it's funny. That's the same, argument I had in the Patreon for some other stuff.
Because like no disrespect to Chris Bay and them, I don't really think about that. But that was pushed by Jay White too. But I don't really think about that. The OC I don't really consider them Bullet Club. in WWE. AEW, they did a little quick thing, but that was with Jay White. So it's like, there's no Jay White. Is there still Bullet Club? Because God isn't Bullet Club right now. So, you know what I mean? Jay White, rest of the year.
Yeah. Switchblade, shout out to him. Male wrestler of the year. And from male wrestler of the year to female wrestler of the year. And again, check out the Patreon if you want the full list. But we had a lot of people on there. We had shout out to Mandy the year she had. Shout out to Deanna Prazo. But this came down to really two people.
Two people.
Jordan Grace and
Which
Jade Cargill.
Jordan Grace had a phenomenal year.
What?
We showed Mad Love on the Patreon again. We play
a lot. We talk about doing interviews this year coming up. I mean, anyone who wants to do an interview would be crazy. But I think if we could think of any wrestler, the most wide variety of questions I could think of, Jordan Grace, maybe Matt Cardona, but Jordan Grace might be the person because of the way her year went. Because maybe okay, again, we talk about it now, so we could say, yeah, she didn't win our award, right? Because we could argue that it wasn't the best year, which is what the female wrestler of the year is. But you could argue that it was the most diverse because she was a TV champion at one point. It was all types of different stuff. So, shout out to Jordan Grace. I would again love to do that as an interview. Definitely biggest wide variety of questions. But
yeah, again, she had a phenomenal year. Like we talk in the child time, we only have like one person y'all seen him on here, villain that talks to Impact. We're trying to get some more people in Discord to join Discord, so especially Impact fans because we don't really have that many of you guys in there. But we always talk about Jordan. Like there's only two reasons why I really know. Well, three reasons why I really know Impact this year. One is the Bullet Club. Two is Josh Alexander. And then three is Jordan. But Jordan by far is the reason why I really have been up to date with Impact because of Jordan and how she's been doing. So I know it sounds like she should have won because of all the praise we're giving her. But I mean,
no, but that just goes to show you how dominant, what year, the impact, pun intended, that Jade Cargill has had on us and the year and the wrestling community as far as our community goes in general. Because Jordan Grace did have a good year and all those stuff we just said is true. And matter of fact, maybe after the Matt Cardona video, again, we got a lot of stuff coming in the pipeline. You're trying to build them up. Maybe, I can throw Jordan Grace video in there. I don't know. Maybe let's see what the research shows.
That's probably a good one.
Right, but after including all that, we still saying Jade. Because Jade, in her own words, was that bitch. Like, I mean, what else can you say?
Dominant.
That year. So
everywhere. I seen her at clubs. Crazy. I seen her at clubs. I seen her at parties. I seen her cross promotions.
Done some crazy. Like you would have thought.
She walks around like she's a champ.
She did what Bad Bunny was doing for WWE, but while actually being a wrestler.
And carries it like she's the champ.
Yeah, and let's talk about how. And we say it all the time. Y'all not new to the channel. We talk about it all the time. We can talk about it again. She's still kind of green. Can you imagine? She might run away with this award for. I mean, depending on what Charlotte do next year, there's other women out there. Let's not, erase them. But let's say imagine Jade's, what she's showing us right now, her swagger, all that, and she gets to wrestling like Charlotte. What we gonna say? We gonna say what we say about Charlotte. We're gonna be tired of her before we know it, because we ain't gonna be able to get rid of her. She's gonna be that good if she gets to that point in ring. Like, can you imagine? That would be crazy.
If she continues
doing this award right now, when we were talking about maybe she should be in talks for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I mean, if she don't quit, she could be doing this for forever.
You know what I'm saying? She continues to love this and just elevate the game. Like, she's on top now, being green. So we ain't really seen match of the year from her yet. We ain't seen promo of the year from her yet. Like, we just seen dominance, like on some Goldberg, Oscar shit. So
yeah.
What's her run gonna be like when she gets the strap? Like, to be honest, I only see her with the TBS champ. Like, I want her to be champ. That's how dope she is. But I only see her with the belt. Like, the only one I can see that takes the belt from her, and we talked about this other video, maybe later on we'll do it again, but maybe a Chris Statlander. That's about it. Other than that, I don't see anyone holding that belt up as dominant as she is. So that says a lot how she's had that secondary title propped up real high.
The thing about wrestling is, obviously because it's fake, is booking matters so much. Like, even if you could have a team, they could have a terrible coach. He could not know what he's doing. If the team is really good enough, it'll still work. Maybe not to the fullest potential, obviously, but you can still win games, enjoy it all. You can still enjoy your team with a bullshit coach if you have the right players there, because that's all the elements matter differently. But booking matters so much more than actual wrestlers, at least to me. Because you could have some of we talk about WWE all the time. Look at the roster they've had over the years. You could have some of the best wrestlers of their generation, and it means nothing booking it right. And AEW got a lot to prove with all their booking, but their women booking in particular. Because we talk about what's going to stop her. We can talk about other wrestlers. I think what's really going to stop her is the booking, or that's what's going to stop any woman. I mean, we might be giving this award to Deonna Purrazzo 3-4 years in a row because Impact's booking improves way more than AEW's booking. We really don't know. So I think we should. We've been this far through the awards already without mentioning that. I think we should definitely mention booking is important, and we don't give Booker of the Year because, at least to me, that should be maybe a quarterly award. Because if you ask me that 4 or 5 different times in the year, I might give you 4 or 5 different answers. Because if you go back to the beginning of last year, I was complaining about New Japan's booking. If you go back to my G1 or my latest New Japan video, I'm not complaining as much anymore. Yeah. So I think that changes a lot. I just think we should throw that in there. Booking is very important. That's why all promotions should hire me and Chance across the board, and we'll just make it all work.
That's right. So in case you didn't know, Jade won. But real quick before we get to the next one, I've been looking at this. I haven't said it. That little QR code right there that you probably can see on the screen. I mean, go ahead and scan it with your phone. It takes us to all the links that we got. You know what I'm saying? Makes it easy for y'all. But go ahead. What's next?
Next. We went along. Tag Team of the Year. Now, and this at this point we had a lot of candidates for everything else. This is when we started boiling it down. So, Tag Teams of the Year. We got Briscoes, Usos, FTR, Young Bucks, Lucha Brothers, Motor City Machine Guns, The Acclaim, and The Good Brothers.
Okay. Now, I'll start off. I'm a very big Bucks fan. You know what I mean? Although, my family is the bloodline, but I'm a very big Bucks fan. But I was on the FTR fence. You know what I mean? Can't take away from the Briscoes. Briscoe get mad love. You know what I mean? But I was on the FTR fence. But Kenny came with the MVP thing, which I'm going to let him say what he said. I mean, all right. I should set the Patreon anyway, but he said what he said, and that convinced me. So
for sure. So if you watch sports, this is an argument I've seen probably in the NBA more than other sports, but what do you give the MVP to? Do you give it to the best player on the best team, or do you give it to the person who, if you took him off his team, what would they be doing? Because those are different things. Because you could take a best player off the best team, he might have other good teammates. Again, they're the best team. So when we use that comparison, this award could go none other than to the Usos. Because if you take the Usos out of the equation, then there's no bloodline story. And if there's no bloodline story, WWE, we wouldn't be talking about Vince coming back right now. We'd be talking about WWE would die. We talk about, it would have survived everything. Well, at that time, I mean, Vince disappeared, and this is the reason we've always said they'll survive anything. So if you take out Vince and the bloodline, well, bye-bye WWE. I mean, maybe the entity still would be standing, but we would definitely talk about them a lot less. Yes, FTR went on their belt collecting run. Again, check the Patreon for the full description of all that, and it was entertaining, and I want to give them their flowers. But the Usos did their thing this past year. Without the Usos, we wouldn't be talking about Sammy. We wouldn't be talking about all these, a lot of, look at how many of these other awards we talk about. We wouldn't talk about Roman. We wouldn't talk about Moment of the Year. We wouldn't be talking about clearly them here in Tag Team of the Year. There's just so many reasons. I mean, we can't give it to anybody else because of that comparison, because of that explanation, I feel.
So, Usos, I mean, you already know. Y'all won. Because let's go. What's next after that? Tag Team of the Year? No, we just did that.
Match of the Year.
Match of the Year. Is it male or tag?
Let's do male.
Oh, male. Let's do male.
Yeah, we did male first.
All right, so the way we broke it down on the Patreon once again, you know what I mean? Check it out. Click QR code. we'll make this one quick. If you're a real fan or supporter, as I said, supporter, not fan, if you're a supporter of wrestling and you really like wrestling, then there's only one answer. You know what I mean? And that is Sheamus and Gunther.
Oh, the Phil wrestling answer is Gunther and Sheamus.
Yeah.
That was a hard-hitting bastard fight. If there's no other way to put it. And we said again, part of the explanation we gave is of all these matches, which one would be the least likely if they would have asked us, hey, replace one of those guys, we'll pay you all the money in the world. This is the match I'll probably still, hey, how much I need to see the numbers, the money in my account first, life insurance, how my girl looking, all that. Because if Gunther or Sheamus gonna be smacking me, we got to make sure. Because yes, we can talk about some other bangers. We can talk about Sheamus. We can talk about Roman versus Logan, which is the other big proponent in this category. And technically speaking, Logan is a rookie, as we talked about earlier. So he literally is a plug and play. We already doing it. Technically, I mean, if you want to replace Logan and get the shit kicked out of you by Roman, and that's hard. Or if you want to, obviously, Roman carried this match a little bit because he's the veteran, and we don't have the tactical announce to do that.
You know what? Mind you, Logan got hurt in the match and kept going. So if Gunther and Sheamus wasn't one of the nominees, it would have been Logan.
Yeah, that was in a different year. If that would happen right now, this year, then they would have ran away with it because it's not even close.
Yeah, because
technically speaking, we cheated. Yeah, so what? But this has two answers: the real wrestler, and then the casual, let's say, answer. It doesn't make you a casual if you enjoy the Roman more, but they're obviously the casual would enjoy that more than the Gunther Sheamus. Or Walter, as he's formerly known. I really don't get why they changed his name. That was so stupid.
Yeah.
But we talk about name changes a lot. We're not going to rehash that. And female match of the year, we're going to make that just as quick. Doesn't come even close. We only had basically two in the category. It was Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. If I say it first, you could tell that's not the winner. And you got Bianca versus Becky, which was a banger. Narrative storytelling didn't miss. I was going to say didn't miss much. I don't think it didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a 5-star, but again, Bianca continues to deliver in the big matches. We might be calling her big match John, like John Cena soon. Except she delivers in the small matches too. But again, not even close. Bianca versus Becky wins female match of the year.
Yeah, this is where booking comes into play too. Like you said, like I'm going back to the reason why she didn't get female wrestler of the year. Because although she's amazing and she's definitely powerful, WWE did not book her as well as Jordan, because you heard about Jordan way more, and didn't book her as dominant or as much as Jade. Had I heard more about Bianca this year, then it would have been, she's putting out some bangers right now.
Man, I think that'll be, again, Jade might be a really good example of what, actually, I said Jade. Bianca might be a real example of what I was saying earlier about Jade. Because when she was champ that first time, for a bit, she did go on some of the talk show runs and all that stuff that all the champs kind of do. Big E did. Especially when you're a first time champ and you're different, black in this case, or a woman, or actually you want to include, her age in there a little bit too. Because usually, Vince try to go a little younger than that if he's trying to push you now. If you want to include all that, she's better in ring than Jade. We could say that full stop. So that might be the blueprint Jade want to follow, except AEW should book her better because that's where they dropped the ball. WWE way is they didn't book her as well, and she wasn't champ the right way, so you couldn't keep her on some of those talk shows and keep her on that tour because she's not the champ anymore and all that other stuff. So that actually went full circle, and I didn't expect that because that's not what we talked about in that meeting. Yeah. So look at that. Even when you don't have the Patreon, you still get some gems because it's us. But yeah,
tag team. Mad simple.
I think we should do one to watch before tag team of the year. Because tag team of the year, let's just do that last because of the way the answers turned out. Okay. One to watch. Again, we had quite a few nominees. Gonna go through them quickly. MJF, Saraya, Austin Theory, Wardlow, Mercedes Moné / Sasha Banks when we originally did this. Jade, kind of. CM Punk because we don't know what he's doing. Tessa Blanchard because we think she's coming back again. But all of those have asterisks. Like they're really because we don't know. They're not really what can they become. They're like just little mysteries. Montez Ford, our answer for this question, obviously, it's like let's see him go. Can he have a serious singles run?
Yeah, like for me, like no shade, but the Street Profits don't do it for me. Like they're cool when they first came out and all that good stuff, but I never seen them as a dominant tag team. Like I'm never
I
gonna.
never seen them as dominant tag team, but what ruined? I don't want to say ruined. That's kind of harsh. But what give me the same feeling that you're describing right now was that way too long feud with the Viking Raiders, who have since been repackaged. So I mean,
Four
not really, but
times.
kind of. So yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean. I mean, this last one, but that feud they had, that's what killed the Street Profits for me
And then
personally.
like it's no shade of Dawkins, like I said, but it's kind of like you can see the Justin Timberlake, the Beyonce in the group. Like you can see it. It's not Dawkins. Like at this iteration, like could you repackage yourself and make me eat my words at it? Probably. But as of right now, presently built and constructed, Montez looks like a winner. He's swole. He's got charisma. Like he's fucking athletic. Like he
In
just
Sync
looks
and
like
Backstreet, in Sync and Destiny's Child taking strays from Chance on the channel for no reason. But I get what he's saying. Yeah.
Because there's always that one in the group.
I mean, it got. I mean, that's true. It's just how it ends up working out.
Like we
But
talked about we talked about this with the Shield. There's really no Beyonce in the Shield.
right,
They're all amazing. But when you look at Street Profits, look at Montez. Like there was even like what do you call that shit? Fan made picture of Montez with the strap, and I was like, oh shit, I could see that.
yeah.
Like I can't see that with Dawkins. I could see maybe I see maybe.
It's the fact that you said maybe I see, and I knew you was gonna say maybe first. It's hilarious. So yeah, 100% agree. We don't gotta keep hashing
Yeah,
over that.
okay. It's Montez. I hope you go this year, bro.
We hope so for real, because I mean, some you got some talent there. So we're gonna finish off, kind of a strange place because that's not what you would think we would finish it off. But because of I want to say how big of a win this was as far as gap, if how much of a true answer this is gonna be. But tag team of the year is our last answer, and it's not our normal best for last type of thing, but it kind of is. And I'm gonna go down briefly the nominees just to be fair because you don't want to leave nobody out. But FTR versus Briscoes won this award, right? And it's not even close. And it's so far, and the matches are so good, and the feud was so good. I'm telling y'all, check it out now, that this had to go last. Like, at any point when we talked about it several different times, I could have said, let's rearrange this, or you could have said rearrange because you have the list too. We could have said that, but we didn't. And part of the reason why we did it because it's some bangers. So FTR versus Briscoes, the whole feud, all three matches, y'all go check that out 100%.
Yeah,
But let's
if you didn't watch that, you doing an injustice to yourself.
yeah. But
Is it injustice or disjustice? What is it?
I think you're doing yourself a disservice.
There you go.
But
See,
yeah.
I'm over here thinking DC. My bad.
But Elite versus Death Triangle is pretty good. Usos versus Street Profits, even though we said what we said earlier. Bloodline versus Brawling Brutes. Anarchy in the Arena, which is the Jericho versus Blackpool Combat Club. Diana and Chelsea Green versus is she Chelsea Green or is it just Chelsea? I don't remember. Versus Rosemary and her tag team partner. The Kingdom versus the Motor City Machine Guns and the Bullet Club 10 mag tag on Impact. But none of those are all good. Those are all above 7 out of 10 matches.
Nothing hit.
But
like
FTR versus Briscoe as a feud, as any one singular match, any way you want to look at it, 10 out of 10.
And what made it even better is it was shootish work because they really didn't get along at first when they first started doing it because there was a little animosity because they both which rightfully
you can see it get smoother.
Yeah, which is rightfully so. They both thought they were the best tag teams ever. So they were popping shit at each other, and then it just played out amazing. That's all I got.
I'm gonna go watch them shits again for real. After I do these, I got some videos to do, but those go check those out. Man, I wish wrestling wasn't of all the sports and stuff that we talk about and we do. We talk about the Geek Out channel. I think wrestling being copyrighted the way it is, because we can talk about obviously we do the reactions for trailers and stuff like that, and that's easier to have those stuff put up. I wish wrestling was a little bit looser with the being able to put stuff back up, because if we could do reactions to stuff like with the video up. Oh man, the reaction to that feud, that would be a crazy video. But without the actual wrestling up, I feel like that's kind of weird to just put it up there. So
It's kind of iffy because sometimes it lets me do it, and then sometimes
that's what I'm saying. Wrestling's one of those. Wrestling as an industry was a little bit more, opened up. I mean, I get why it's not allowed because I mean, pay-per-views and the way the revenue is, all it makes sense. But I'm just saying, of all the content we create, it's the one thing I wish it was a little bit more like, who cares? Just put it up. I mean, we still gonna make our money, right? But we know why it's not, and it is what it is.
So that right there is a Wrestling Behind the Curtain 2022 awards. You know what I mean? We definitely got a Hall of Fame coming this year. If y'all didn't check out the video we did a couple of weeks back about the first inductees. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you who it is. Just go check it out so you can watch the video. But we definitely got that coming up. If you want to see how we came to what we came to right now, check the Patreon, man. Plus, as Kenny said, we might have to just do some Patreon drawings on that, get y'all over there, like the Matt Cardona, Jordan Grace. You know what I mean? Bullet Club shit. Get you over there, man. Join the Discord. It is free. One of the free things that we do have, and we actually talk. Unlike other people, we actually talk to. You know what I'm saying? So get in there. We get the merch. We got new merch dropping. It was at a discount, but now it isn't. So don't be on the lookout for that. QR code is right there. Let me get out of the way. Boom, boom. You want to scan it? You know what I mean? Take you all the links that we got. Discount. I think that's about it. That's all I got. What you got, Kenny? Nowhere. All right, let's say we have technical difficulties. As Kenny would say, we give it to you straight shot, no chase.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Kenny. The last 2 minutes, you freezing? Yeah, Kenny's freezing. So we give it to you straight shot, no chaser. You know what I'm saying? Like always, be yourself. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Comment, super chat, stupid thanks, all that good stuff, man.